Good morning, class. Today we will discuss a topic known as the Parliament of India. Our topic is going to be just the Parliament of India. See, Parliament of India. Parliament of India is here in the center, whereas we have state legislature. We have state legislature in every state. So parliament means the state legislature. President means the governor. Yes. The prime minister means the chief minister. So in that way, politics becomes too easy. If you have some conceptual clarity, after that, if you have some logical understanding, politics becomes too easy. So please remember, I'll go in this way. Today I'm going to discuss parliament. Tomorrow I'll start with the state legislature. So see, Parliament of India, it's a huge topic, but we are going to take only some very important one. The most important part of the parliament. In fact, I will discuss what is there inside the parliament, the most important thing. So remember, the Parliament of India consists of two houses. Lok Sabha and Hindi name Rajya Sabha. Only two houses, so it's a bicameral legislature. Very important. When we have just one house, it is known as unicameral. Just like Nagaland. In Nagaland, we have only state legislative assemblies, so it is known as unicameral. But in the government of India, we have two houses. That is why it is known as bicameral. So now today's topic is going to be Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And remember, in the parliament there is another person who is an outsider, known as the President of India. So class, just remember, if I ask you one question, is the President part of the parliament? He's an outsider. Yes or no? Last bench. So why the president is made a part of the parliament without being a member? Either the president is neither a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But why he is made a part of the parliament? For what reason? Okay, here. Why? Yes, it's okay whether it's right or wrong. You're just learning. Yes, you need to learn. It's very easy now. This is what is politics. See, only one reason. The president, without being a member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, is a member of is made a part of the parliament because a bill become an act only with his signature. That's the only reason. Only one reason: signature. Remember? Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will pass so many bills in the parliament. However, without the signature of the president, the bill will never become an act, which means it will never come into effect. Law. To become a law, we need the signature of the President of India, Mr. President of India. That's the reason the President of India is made a part of the Indian parliament without being a member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Please remember this point. This is often asked in NPSC. Just one part. So now today, President, tomorrow I will discuss. Today we will discuss about just Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What is this Lok Sabha and what is this Rajya Sabha? And why they are two? For what reason you want to be a member of this house? See, personally, for history, just remember, we got independent in the year 1947. But the Constitution of India came into being only in the year 26 January 1949. After that, the first general election, Lok Sabha election, was held in the year 1952. You have to remember this. The first Lok Sabha election was held in the year 1952. So after every 5 years, we are having election. That is why India has the largest democratic country in the world. Democracy is there. 5 years. Narendra Modi has won the election this year. Again, if he wants to go for election, he have to win the next election after 5 years. So we have two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Alright. So now see, before I discuss the powers and functions of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the Parliament of India. I'm talking about both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together. Now let's see. So please write the topic qualification. Who can be elected either to the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Let's see the qualification. Okay, please write down number 1. One should be a citizen of India. One should be a citizen of India and should be 25 years. And should be 25 years to contest election to the Lok Sabha, and 30 years for Rajya Sabha. If you want to contest election for Rajya Sabha, you should be 30 years. Lok Sabha, 25 years. And should be a citizen of India. And lastly, no house of profit. No house of profit. See, yesterday I discussed about what is this house of profit. House of profit. If you want to contest to the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, you should never hold any house of profit. What is this house of profit? One example, yes? Yes, you're coming, yes? In short, you should not be a government servant. If you are an IAS officer, IPS, an EAC, a doctor, resign. And if you are a government contractor, resign now. Okay, no more engaged in government sector. Because you're going to serve the people now. You're going to be a public leader now. You should be a free man. In short, we need only a free man to contest election to the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Now let's see. There are some disqualification. On certain point, you will be disqualified. So let's see. Write the topic disqualification. Disqualification. Under certain circumstances, you will be disqualified. Number 1. One should not be a person of unsound mind and insolvent unsound mind. One should not be a person of unsound mind and insolvent. Okay. One should not be a person of unsound mind and insolvent. I'm going to discuss now. Unsound mind means, suppose if you can't hear, yes, if you can't see nicely, no, this person will never be allowed. Because here, it's a very sensitive issue now. You're going to be an MLA now. You're going to be a member of the parliament now. Who knows? You might be the Prime Minister of India. So see, you should be, in short, you should be mentally fit. Okay, physically fit and mental things should be sound. After that, insolvent means, suppose if you have so many money and unable to pay. No, this person, Vijay Mallya, cannot contest election now. Vijay Mallya has run away from India. So these people will never be able to contest election. You should not be a person who has so many things to prepare. No. Second point. One should not be a person who has committed untouchability. Too important, untouchability. One should not be a person who has committed untouchability. Untouchability or enmity or sati system. See? If you are a person who has committed untouchability, sati system, enmity, or communal violence, these people will never be allowed to contest election. See, remember, suppose you are selected as a Nakahubu president. Okay, during your term as a Nakahubu president, suppose if you have committed a crime, say example, you have just like organized violence. Suppose two tribes. Take the example, Simas is fighting with Angamis. Who has done that? You are the one. If you are that type of person, when you are serving as a Hugu leaders and all, okay, you will never be allowed to contest election. So this is too important, but this is too dangerous. Muslims need to see in India, this is too important. India is democracy. So many things are there. So no, you should be a person who is a clean man. Okay, a very clean person. Untouchability. So what is this untouchability? one point, this one basic point.
Discrimination against minorities and
Yes, obviously, just like suppose I'm a military, I'm bored. Alright, suppose if I'm just denied admission in this coaching center because I'm from low caste. No, untouchability is strictly prohibited in India. No more untouchability in India. If someone practices untouchability, you're going to be arrested immediately. And such system, no such system in India. So this kind of a person will never be allowed to contest election. Next point. If you have stayed in jail for more than 2 years, now it's a very big issue. Can the criminals, can a person who has committed a crime, who is still in jail, can he contest election? Suppose you want to contest election for a coming Lok Sabha elections or Rajya Sabha, but you have committed a crime and you have stayed already in jail. Can you contest? Last bench? You came across?
if the sentence is less than 2 years,
Absolutely, absolutely. Even though you stayed in jail, but if your jail term is less than 2 years, you came across Lalu Prasad staying in jail, but why he was able to contest election? Because he was released bail within 2 years. So okay, you should be released within 2 years, so that you will be allowed to contest the next election. So this is too important. Next is election expenses. Election expenses. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. Communal violence and eligibility study system. And MIDI means just like conflicts. If you have created conflicts, okay, between two persons. Suppose you are a leader. Suppose you are a leader of your religion. Suppose you are a Hindu leader, but now you have promoted violence, conflicts within two community. No, these people will never be allowed to contest election. Next is election expenses. As a candidate, you should show your election expenses. The government of India, the Election Commission of India has announced that you will not spend more than that. For example, in Lok Sabha election, you can spend 70 lakhs. In Lok Sabha election, you can spend 70 lakhs. But if your election expenses is more than that, or if you are unable to show your election expenses, now you will be disqualified. You will be disqualified now. So very much sensitive. But most probably in India, we all spend in terms of career. Yes or no? It is just for it is just in the constitution. It is just a laughing paper. No one will follow this. You will spend more, but you have to show to the election commission, so the government of India. You have to show that I have spent less than 70 lakhs or just 70 lakhs. So these are some of the fields where you will be disqualified. Even though you are qualified. Yes, you are 25 years, you are 30 years, you are intellectual, you have won the election, but no. If you are this kind of a person, you are going to be disqualified. So please remember, when you are contesting election, all this will come in the forces. All this will come in the forces. And remember, during the election campaign, you can't speak about your religion. You can't speak about your identity, Okay, now you are a free man. You are just a private person. And last point is, if suppose 25%. See, there is another one more last. Suppose in India, India has a mixed economy. That means the industries in India are owned half by the government, half by the private. Take the example of Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani is the Reliance German. Yes, he's a private man, but who knows? He might have alliance with, in joint venture, partnership with the government of India. So in that conditions, in any company where the government has at least 25% share, you will not invest or you will not have any interest in that. That means you should not do any government projects at all. No, you are going to be a private man. So do not engage in all this problem. Okay, no business at all. That means no government business at all. You are a private man, your job is just to serve the people. Why you want to be a member of the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? For what reason? Yes, first bench. Just one reason. Why do you want to get elected? To serve the people? Yes. So when you're serving the people, if you are trying to engage in the government projects, now see your constituency will not grow. Yes or no? So please remember, you should be a private man. You should not have any private interest. Now, we will see the election system of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Let's see the election system of Lok Sabha today. Okay, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Alright, Rajya Sabha will consist of only 250 members. Lok Sabha 550. Okay, from 2020, the Lok Sabha will have only 550 members, not 552. Lok Sabha consists of 552 members till 2020. I'm going to explain that. We have two more till 2020. So let's see. Who are these two members? Anglo-Indians. We give 2% representation to the Anglo-Indians. Let's see who are these Anglo-Indians. Anglo-Indians means half are Indians, half are British. We all know the British have ruled over India for almost 3 centuries. So see, we have mixed Indians. My mother might be a British, but my father is an Indian. So for these people also, we should give some representation. So for that reason only, we give 2 representation to the Anglo-Indians. And here no election. It is only nominated by the President of India. The President of India nominates 2 members to the Lok Sabha from the Anglo-Indians. But now, we came to the conclusion that no, from 2020, we will not give. From 2020, we will not give. So no more representation. So it is only 550 now. Okay, so from this 550, how they are elected? 530 is elected from all the Indian states. Alright. And 20 are elected from UT, Union Territory. 530 members of the Lok Sabha is elected from all the Indian states. We have 28 states. So from 28 states, according to the population ratio, we're going to elect 530. And 20 are elected from Union Territory, UT. So what is this UT? Yes, actually what is this? In short, what is this Union Territory, UT? Yes? It is? Okay, yeah, absolutely. It is an area which is directly controlled and administered by the center. Union Territory is an area which is directly controlled and administered by the center, not by the state. Not by the state. Now let's see. So far at present, only 3 Union Territory has representation in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now see approximately 6 you just see. Now we will see how these members are elected. Is this election direct or indirect? Lok Sabha election? Yes, first bench, Lok Sabha election. Direct or indirect? It is? It is a direct election, which means the common man, like you and me, will participate in this election. Remember, 61st Constitutional Amendment Act 1988. This is so important. 61st Constitutional Amendment Act 1988 has reduced the voting age from 21 to 18 years. Now the voting age is 18 years, not 21. Before it was 21 till 1988. But as of now, no. Let's reduce the age. It should be 18 years. If I'm 18 years, I shall have the right to vote. Universal franchise. So remember, from Nagaland also, we send 1 representation. Nagaland send 1 Lok Sabha every 5 years. We just have 1 Lok Sabha seat. So see how Mr. Subramanian was elected. Now Subramanian is the present Lok Sabha member. So does the common people vote in this election? Common people, just like you and me. Absolutely, absolutely. In this election, it was the common men who have voted. So it is very powerful. Why every person wants to be a member of Lok Sabha, not Rajya Sabha? Why every person in India wants to be a member of the Lok Sabha, not Rajya Sabha? Yes? Last bench. Why not Lok Sabha? So sorry. Why every person wants to be a member of the Lok Sabha, not the Rajya Sabha? Because power is there. You are directly elected. On top of the allowance, you see, you get this 5 grand. Okay, minimum 5 grand allowance every year. So Mr. Sukumaran will get this 5 grand every year, and his salaries, his expenses, every facility is going to be a top class. So everybody wants to be a member of the Lok Sabha because they are directly elected house, known as the most powerful house in India, known as the most powerful, the most popular, and known as the lower house. Lok Sabha is known by another name. Just remember, what is the other name of Lok Sabha? It is known as the lower house, but more powerful, most popular, and directly elected house. Remember, and once you won the election, you will serve for 5 years. See, how the 5 year is calculated? There will be a question in BSc. What will be the duration? Even though it's 5 years, but from which exact date you have to know. After the first meeting of the first Lok Sabha, new Lok Sabha. This is too important. You have to write down. Okay, the 5 years is going to be counted after you win election. The first meeting, the first, suppose 2024 Lok Sabha election. Yes, we have election. So it is going to be held in the year 2029 again. 19 Lok Sabha election is going to be held in the year 2029. So 2024, but from which date you are going to count the 5 years? First meeting of the newly elected Lok Sabha. That will be the date which you have to count. So that is how the Lok Sabha served for 5 years. Now let's go to Rajya Sabha. So see, if you are 25 years, you can contest election to the Lok Sabha. Now my question is, suppose you want to be the Prime Minister, you should be from which house? Lok Sabha, here? Which house? Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Is either. Any house. Remember, okay? Either house, yes. Either house. You can see, I just give you one example. You can be either a member of the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. However, your political party should have only majority in the Lok Sabha. This is too important. Your party should have majority only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. That's the only thing. You can be from either house. It's a it is very conceptual but very easy. Okay, please listen. You'll all get a good marks. And see, it is very dynamic. It keeps on changing. Today is 30, tomorrow is 31. Okay, article in no. You see, how many articles are there? If I ask you today is 500, tomorrow is 501. So it keeps on addition. Dynamic, very dynamic. Next is the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha. Let's see who can contest election to the Rajya Sabha, or who can be a member of the Rajya Sabha. First is just 30 years citizens of India. That's all. You should be at least a citizens of India, 30 years and no house of profit. That is the qualification to contest election. And once you win the election, you're going to serve for 6 years, not 5 years. Remember, 6 years is too important. If you get elected to the Rajya Sabha, you're going to serve for 6 years. Now let's see how you're elected. Election is too important now. Election system is often asked in BSc. Union executive is too important. So let's see how the Rajya Sabha members are elected. Number one, indirectly. Indirect. Okay. The Rajya Sabha member is elected indirectly. But who participates in this election now? This is very important. Who elects the Rajya Sabha members? Even though it is elected indirectly, who will elect this person? You see in Nagaland, we have 60 MLAs. 60 MLAs. In Nagaland, we have just 60 MLAs. And we have just one representation. Pangnang Gongyak is a member of the Rajya Sabha. But how was he elected? 60 MLAs will have one vote each. 60 MLA will elect one member from Nagaland and she will represent the Rajya Sabha. So election is indirect. The common man, just like you and me, will never participate in this election as long as you are an MLA. If you are an MLA, you are going to participate. Only the MLAs will elect the Rajya Sabha. Remember, only the MLAs in India will elect every Rajya Sabha members. So 60 MLAs will have one vote each. So Pangnang Gongyak is a member of the Rajya Sabha because the 60 MLAs in Nagaland elected her. So she is elected indirectly. That is why she is less powerful. That is why she is less powerful. But she is going to serve for 6 years. So let's see now. The 6-year terms. How gives a remember, Rajya Sabha consists of only 250 members. Rajya Sabha consists of only 250 members. Among the 250 members, 238 are elected from all the Indian states and union territory. Please remember this. Among the 250 Rajya Sabha members, 238 is elected from all the Indian states and union territories according to the populations. So Nagaland has just one Rajya Sabha member. Secondly, what about the other remaining, the 12 members? What about the other 12 members? The other 12 members are nominated by the President of India. Please write down. The other 12 members are nominated by the President of India. But in which category? How? The 12 members in India, how they are going to be elected? The 12 members are nominated by the President of India who are famous in the field of art. Art means you may be an exceptional cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. You may be a famous actor like Amitabh Bachchan. Jai Bachchan, see? Jai Bachchan is a member of Rajya Sabha. Why? Because she is an exceptional person in the field. Maybe she is famous in the field of cinema. Or Sachin Tendulkar became a member of Rajya Sabha because he is too famous in the field of sports. So in any field, but you are too exceptional. Might be a boxer, yes, Mary Kom, see, you can be a member. Next is, suppose you are a very good social worker, social activist, powerful social activist in India, you can be a member of the Rajya Sabha. Next is science. So suppose you are just like a famous scientist, you are going to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. Who will do that? It is the President of India who will nominate, and you are also going to serve for 6 years. So this is too important. This is too important. Famous in the field of art, literature. Next is even the literature. Famous poet. Okay. If you are too famous poet, famous in some field, too exceptional, famous in India, but too exceptional. Suppose you are a famous poetry writer. You are going to be nominated by the president. So very much possible. Very much possible. So now see. However, the trickiest part is this one. The Rajya Sabha is elected for a term of 6 years. However, 1/3 of its member retires after every 2 years. You will find this in Lakshmika or any other book. This is very confusing. Even though the Rajya Sabha are elected for 6 years, 1/3 of its member retires after every 2 years. So let's see the 2 years. Let's see the 2 years now. See, this is 1/3 of its member. So among the 250, at least 80 have to resign. Among the 250 members, 80 have to resign every 2 years. So nobody wants to resign after 2 years. Yes or no? Everybody wants to serve for 6 years. Ma'am Pangnang Gongyak wants to serve for 6 years. So now, in the first Rajya Sabha term, a lottery was played. Okay, nobody wants to resign first. So a lottery was played. They have elected 250 members, but a lottery was played. So okay, let's play the lottery. Who will retire after 2 years? The other serve for, the other 2/3 serve for 6 years, but unfortunately the first season, the 1/3 of its member retires only after serving for 2 years. So that is the system, and till now it is going on. Okay, 6 years, and 1/3 is resigning. So this is about the procession. So any confusion here, you can ask of now. Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Any confusion regarding the election qualification, disqualifications?
After 2 years, election process will be same, or just
Yes.
2 years, so the election process will be same.
Obviously, yes, same election process. 2 years in the sense that what? 2 years means you're going to serve only for 2 years, right? But remember, that is only the first season. Now every person is going to serve for how many years? 6 years. 6 years. See, only the first season. So every 2 years after completing 6 years, you're going to resign. So same election process. Election process is going to be same. Okay. So in India, we have only 2 elections. One is direct, the other is indirect. So this is indirect, and the direct is we have the Lok Sabha election. So now today, see, I'm going to discuss the powers and functions of the Parliament of India. That means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together. After that, I'm going to discuss in which field the Lok Sabha is more powerful, in which field the Rajya Sabha is more powerful, and in which field they are equal. Okay, so my topic today will be the powers and functions of the Parliament of India. Powers and functions. Powers and functions. Powers and functions of Parliament. Number 1. We have around 6 to 7 powers and functions of the Parliament of India. So first is the legislative powers. Legislative powers of the Parliament of India. So see, why you want to get elected? For what reason? Why you want to get elected either to the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Just yes, first base. It is one reason. Why you want to be a member of Lok Sabha? Yes, first page.
To utilize the power and privileges.
Yes, last page. Why you want to get elected to the Parliament?
To make laws to help society adapt.
Okay, yes, the most important is to make laws. That is the first thing. For the people. Yes, as you said, when you make laws, it's for the people. Nothing is for you. You want to see, you might be the richest man in India, you might be Mukesh Ambani, you might be a IAS officer, most intellectual person, but no. Until unless nothing is made in the Parliament, it is not possible. Everything is in the Parliament, nothing is outside the Parliament. You talk so many things outside, no, not possible. Only inside. If you are a member of the Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha, you can make laws, you can serve the people. Yes, you can deliver your service. That's the reason now we are going to discuss about legislative power. Legislative means to make laws. Yes, the members of the Parliament, the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha has absolute power to make laws. They have the absolute power to make laws for the people in general. That's the reason you want to be a member of the Lok Sabha. That's the reason you want to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. That's the reason. So now let's see. We have union list, we have the state list, we have the government list. So what is this list? You get my drops? List means something has been written. Yes or no? List means something has been written, but it is 100 in number. 100 and number. That means You take the example, atomic energy, defense, currency. Okay, the most important thing is mention the union list. Who can make law? It is only the parliament who can make laws out there. Suppose, who can change the currency of India? Demonetization can make laws? Only the union? Yes, only the parliament. Okay, if Modi wants to change, yes, Modi has changed the currency once. Rupees 2000 was introduced. That means it is everything which is mentioned in the union list, the parliament can make the laws. Everything which is mentioned in the state list, the state can make laws. Rio can make laws in the state list. Nagaland Legislative Assembly, which is 66 in number. Take the example, police department. Okay, police department, agriculture department. This is the state list. So who can make laws in that? It is the state government of Nagaland in the state legislature. Whereas, what about a concurrent list? Concurrent list is a list where both the union and the state can make laws. Concurrent list is 52 in number. Concurrent list, both the union and the state can make laws. Take the example of forestry. Okay, forestry. You want to make a laws in the forest list. Both the union and the state can make laws. But now here comes the confusions. Suppose at the same time, both the union and the state wants to make the laws in the concurrent list. Who will be given the privilege? It is the union, because the union is more powerful. This is so important. In some conditions, if this is going for a hard question, the question is in this way. If suppose in a certain period of time, both the union and the state wants to make a law in a concurrent list, it is only the union which will given the privilege. Now there will be a question in BC. Can the Parliament of India make laws in the state list? Can the Parliament of India make laws in the state list in a particular state? Might be in Manipur, might be in Assam, might be in Rajasthan, might be in Gujarat. Indian state. The answer is yes. Under 5 conditions. I will discuss now. Under what conditions the Parliament of India can make laws in a particular state? We have 5 conditions. Please remember, the figure is very important for English 1 The 5 features. Let's see the 5 features. Let's see the 5 features. Okay, please remember this. Number 1 is during national emergency. During wars. We are having war with Pakistan, Russia, China, under Article 352. Okay, known as national emergency. A very important topic which I am coming up with next class. National emergency Article 352. When we are having a war with Pakistan, China, in these conditions, the Parliament will make laws in India or Indian states. Second is during the president rule, known as Article 356. Article 356. Article 356. You came across president rule. Sometimes there is no chief minister. Why? In some state, sometimes the state assembly is dissolved. Why? Because there is a law and order problem. In that conditions, the government of India, that is the Parliament of India, will take control of that state. In that conditions, the union can make laws in that particular state. Second condition. Number 3. International agreement. We all know there are some states in India which borders the countries. Yes or no? You take example Myanmar, you take example of Afghanistan, Pakistan, China. Suppose Arunachal Pradesh wants to sign an international agreement with the Chinese government. It is only the Parliament of India which will give the approval, not the state government. So in this condition, the union is going to make laws. The government of India, that is the Parliament, is going to make laws during international agreements. It is only the government of India who can sign the international agreement. So this is the third conditions where the union will interfere in the state list. Number 4. Manipur. So in that condition, Nagaland and Manipur will have an issue. They will never go to settle it. Okay, because he also wants to take more. I also want to take more. So in that condition, okay, let's give this issue to the government of India. So in this condition, the parliament can make a laws for a Sukuveli for both Nagaland and Manipur, for two states. So in these conditions, the center is going to interfere. This is the four conditions the union can make laws in the state is. Last. Article 249. Article 249, you have to remember the last article. Article 249, you have to remember. Anytime it is not Lok Sabha, absolute power of the Rajya Sabha. Please write down. But it is a part of the union, so you consider as the Parliament of India. Anytime the Rajya Sabha can make laws in any state list of any Indian state. Anytime. If it pass a resolution supported by 2/3 majority. Okay, only in the Rajya Sabha. Only in the Rajya Sabha. Very much important. This is too important. The Rajya Sabha can anytime make laws in the state list of any Indian state if it passes a resolution supported by 2/3 majority in the Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha is 250, so it is if we get the support of 180 and all. Okay, anytime they will make laws either in Nagaland or any other states. So anytime. So absolute power of the Rajya Sabha, not the Lok Sabha. So 5 conditions they can differ. So please remember, for NBC point of view, under how many conditions the parliament can make laws in the state list can differ? Under 5 conditions. So this is the only 5 conditions you have to remember. This you have to memorize. Okay, no other option. So we all know the legislative power means to make laws. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to make laws. No confusion. Just remember, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal power to make laws. So that is why you are a lawmaker. Who is a lawmaker? The politicians, not the bureaucrats. You are going to be an EAC. You are going to implement the laws. But who is going to be a lawmaker? It is the politicians. Above you, there is one person. The politicians. So, based on all this. Executive powers of the Parliament of India. Executive powers of the Parliament of India. Okay, let's see the executive power. Alright. In short, executive means you can give appointments, you can transfer, you can terminate someone. Okay, absolute power now. Executive means you have the executive power to make law, just like to implement the laws, to transfer, to terminate the law. So we are the politicians. Why you are afraid of politicians? Yes? Because the politicians can terminate you. Okay, you can be transferred, you can be terminated. So the politicians have the executive power. So now we'll see. Remember, unfortunately, it is the Lok Sabha who has more executive powers than the Rajya Sabha because of one reason. No confidence motion. No confidence motion. The Lok Sabha is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha in the field of executive because the Lok Sabha can introduce no confidence motion anytime. When the ruling party has to prove majority. Now this is too important. Every ministers, including the Prime Minister, is only afraid of Lok Sabha. Why? The ministers are afraid of only Lok Sabha. They are responsible only to Lok Sabha, not to the Rajya Sabha. Why? Why the ministers are collectively responsible only to the Lok Sabha?
Because no confidence motion can be introduced on the law.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime. Now, my question is, what is this no confidence motion? Yes, first page. What is this no confidence motion?
Solution.
It is a motion which is introduced only the Lok Sabha by the opposition party, Rahul Gandhi. Anytime, Rahul Gandhi will introduce, okay, we'll go for voting. Who has more seats today? Okay, we all know Lok Sabha is 550. So now, today we will take voting. And if BJP is only 49, and if Congress is 50, automatically, the President of India will dismiss Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister and appoint Rahul Gandhi as the Prime Minister. So it is just like confidence. No confidence means what? What is this confidence? Voting will take place. How much you have? Okay, how much you have? You have 100, I have 101. So if no confidence, if it is bus, what will happen? If no confidence, that means you don't have confidence. What will happen if it is bus in the Lok Sabha? Opposition party will introduce it. The ruling party will try its best not to pass it. So what will happen if it is passed? Yes, no other option. Narendra Modi have to resign. Okay, or else he is going to be dismissed immediately by the President of India. And Rahul Gandhi will become the Prime Minister of India. Okay, so many times Jawaharlal Nehru resigned, Indira Gandhi resigned, Rajiv Gandhi resigned before 5 years. Why? Because no confidence motion. Some of his friends, partner has a betrayed. They have run away and joined the opposition. So what that is voting. What is no confidence? Voting is going to take place in Lok Sabha, where head counting is going to take place. Okay, so if you're less, you want to resign. So that is why in politics anything can happen. So today you are Prime Minister, tomorrow you are going to be just an MP. Yes, Rahul Gandhi is just an MP, opposition leader. Rahul Gandhi is in Manipur, Rahul Gandhi is in Rajasthan. But who knows? Tonight, he might become the Prime Minister of India if it is passed. So no confidence motion is the most powerful weapon of the opposition against the ruling party. And it is there only in the Lok Sabha. That is why Lok Sabha is more powerful. That is why Lok Sabha is more powerful. Lok Sabha is directly elected and they can introduce no confidence motion anytime, known as the executive powers. Some minor executive powers of the Rajya Sabha is the Rajya Sabha can ask question. Okay, the Rajya Sabha members can ask question. The Pangulo Bunga can ask question to the Prime Minister. But apart from that, no, they don't have much power. Rajya Sabha can control the Lok Sabha members, the ministers and all. Because the ministers are only responsible to the Lok Sabha. Because it is only the Lok Sabha who can pass the no confidence motion. So see, ministers are from which house? Okay, now the Prime Minister, the ministers are from which house? Lok Sabha. Here, first page, the ministers are from which house? Now Modi has so many ministers. Narendra Modi, from which house? Lok Sabha? It is absolutely wrong. Yes, I've been telling you. The ministers can be from any house, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But your political party should have only majority in the Lok Sabha. Please remember this. Okay, you came across Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister of India from Rajya Sabha, not from Lok Sabha. But why? Because his political party, the Congress, had majority only in the Lok Sabha. One more question. Can Rahul Gandhi contest from Nagaland next year? Can Narendra Modi come and contest election from Nagaland or from Manipur? In Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Last bench.
Shouldn't his name be the electoral role or something like that? And he's not also in Nagaland, right?
Yes, absolutely. See, if the seat is reserved, he can come. In Nagaland, one Lok Sabha seat and Rajya Sabha seat is reserved for ST. But if the seat is not reserved, if it is open. See? Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister from Assam. Rajya Sabha member. Manmohan Singh was nominated from or elected from Assam, not from his present state Punjab. No. So you can change your constituency. No harm, no harm. If the city is not reserved. So this is a tricky question you will find in English. So expect this kind of question in Indian polity. And today I have discussed about the legislative, executive. Let's discuss the financial power. Financial power. Number 3 is financial power. Financial power. Financial power. Financial power. Financial power. Okay, you see? Not even a 1 rupee can be spent in India without the approval of the parliament. Every money which is coming to all the Indian states or even the union government, until unless it is approved in the parliament of India, it is never going to be spent. We have a budget season. Yes or no? In the month of Feb, budget season is going on. So remember, until unless, even though every state might give me 5,000 crore, give me 10,000 crore, my department need 50,000 crore this year for agriculture. No, it is never going to be granted until unless it is approved by the parliament. So they have absolute power. The members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have absolute power to pass the finance bill. Without the passing of the finance bill, not even a rupee can be given to any states or any person. So now see, who has more power to pass the finance bill or the budget? Budget, I'm coming up in another class, okay? But remember, the budget, the money bill, the finance bill is only first introduced in the Lok Sabha. We should remember. The finance bill, the budget, the money bill is introduced first only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. It is also going to be introduced in the Rajya Sabha, but no, it is the Lok Sabha has absolute power to pass the money bill, finance bill, and the budget. Obviously, every bill has to pass in the House. Remember, this is too important. Every bill has to pass in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. However, in many cases, the Lok Sabha is more powerful to pass all of these finance bills. So the budget, who will introduce? The Finance Minister of India every year. Remember, there is a question in NBC. What will happen if the finance bill is not passed? Money bill is. What will happen if the finance bill is not passed, the budget is not passed, or if the money bill is not passed? Yes, classmates, what will happen?
No budget.
Yes.
No budget. I mean, the money will not be spent.
Okay. If the finance bill or money bill or the budget is not passed, it is introduced. Remember, the budget is first introduced only in the Lok Sabha by the Finance Minister of India. In the month of Feb, every year, the finance bill, the money bill is going to be introduced only in the Lok Sabha first. It will go to the Rajya Sabha. But if the bill is not passed, obviously, the finance bill, the budget is to be passed. If it is not passed, the ruling party have to resign. This is too important. That shows that you don't have maturity. That shows that you don't have maturity. That's why I'm saying no confidence motion. If the budget or the money bill is not passed, what will happen? The Prime Minister, including all his ministers, have to resign. Sometime it happened 1970s, 1980s. The budget is not passed. The finance bill is not passed because of this reason. Because of this reason. That shows that you don't have maturity support. So please remember, it is very in India. Okay, it is very practical to pass the finance bill in budget. See, to win elections, budget matters a lot. Okay, if it's a bad budget, the government isn't, the people is never going to vote for you. Not like in Nagaland. No. If you go to Maharashtra, if you go to Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bihar, no. These people is going to see the budget. Okay, it's a very good one. We will vote for this government. So please remember, this is a very important. So finance bill also, the parliament has absolute power. So that means the financial, every finance of the the country is controlled by the Parliament of India. Absolute financial power. Next is judicial power. Next will be the judicial power. Judicial power. Next will be the judicial power. Judicial powers of the parliament means both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to remove all the constitutional laws in India. In short, judicial powers means the constitutional laws in India. You take the example of president, vice president, judges of the Supreme Court, High Court, all the constitutional laws in India can be removed by the Parliament of India because no person is above the constitution. You might be the president, you might be the vice president, you might be the speaker, you might be the judge of the Supreme Court. You might be a High Court judge. You are too powerful. But no, it is the Parliament who can remove you, known as the judicial powers. The Parliament can remove the constitutional laws anytime, anytime, anytime. But remember here, please remember one point: 2/3 majority. 2/3 majority. It is very hard to remove the constitutional laws in India. It is very hard to remove the constitutional laws in India. Okay, it is very hard to remove the constitutional laws in India. So, if you want to remove the constitutional laws, you have to pass a resolution supported by 2/3 majority in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So, if I ask a question, who has more power in judicial case? Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Huh? I said equal powers. A resolution has to be passed in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Together, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can remove the president, vice president. Equal powers. Okay, anytime if they violate the constitution. So see the last page. Give one example of a constitutional laws in India. The president. What about Finance Commission German? UPC German? Absolutely. Absolutely. So all these laws can be removed by the parliament. Alright. 2/3 majority. So they are absolute power. Now they have absolute power. That's why they run the country. They run the country, they control the country. The Parliament of India runs the country. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I have been telling you. Every resolution to remove the constitutional laws has to be passed forward in Lok Sabha separately, Rajya Sabha separately by 2/3 majority. Emergency powers. Next is emergency power. Emergency powers I'm coming up in the next class. Okay, so I will not discuss much, but emergency power means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have to approve if the emergency is to be declared in India. We have three types of emergency: national emergency, state emergency, financial emergency. Three emergencies there. See, in very bad situation like wars, okay, the government of India, the president of India can declare emergency. That means the center is going to keep a control on all Indian state. But this has to be approved in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Who can? That means who can declare emergency? President only on the approval of the parliament. Or Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. No confusion. So emergency power means the parliament has to pass a resolution. Alright, the parliament has to pass a resolution to declare the emergency power in India. So anytime they can declare. So now that is also in the hands of the parliament. Next is number 6. election power, electoral power, electoral powers, electoral powers. What is this electoral powers? Electoral means the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha elects the President of India, Vice President of India, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. This is so important. Who elects the President? Yes, first page in India. Who elects the President and Vice President? Again, it is the Parliament of India. And who removes the President and Vice President? The Parliament of India. Equal powers for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So remember this, electoral powers. They elect the President, Vice President, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers. So they are more powerful again now. The last is constitutional amendment powers. Who can change the Constitution of India? Can the Parliament change the Constitution? The Parliament, the Constitution is supreme. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes? Yes. Can the Parliament change the Constitution? Obviously, yes. The Parliament can change the Constitution of India anytime. Now I want to explain to you something very important. Yes, it is the Parliament who can change the Constitution. So see, who is more powerful, the Parliament or the Constitution? Yes, here. It is the Parliament or the Constitution who is more powerful? It is the Constitution, okay? Because Constitution is supreme. That is why the preamble starts with "we the people." See, that means the power resides in the hands of the people. That's why the preamble starts "we the people of India." Constitution is made by the people, and the Parliament is elected by the people. So now there is the power sharing is there. Yes or no? So they are interconnected. So in India, remember in India, the Parliament and the Constitution, they are interdependent. Not like in England. If you go to England, the Parliament is sovereign, absolute power, no limitations, no limits. But in Parliament of India, there is some limitations. Okay, because we are democratically elected people. Now see, yes, the Parliament can change the Constitution in 3 ways. Okay. The Parliament of India, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can change the Constitution in 3 ways. Any part of the Indian Constitution. Remember, the Parliament can change any part of the Indian Constitution except the basic structure. Except the basic structure. Now today, this is a very important topic in maths. This is short topic in maths. Now we will see what is this basic structure. The Parliament can change the Constitution in 3 ways, which I'm going to explain. But firstly, before that, let's know what is this basic structure. The Parliament can change the Constitution, but only in 3 ways. So let's see the 3 ways. Let's see the 3 ways. And let's see the basic structure. The Parliament can change the Constitution in 3 ways, but without changing the basic structure. Basic structure means the most important features of Indian Constitution, which cannot be changed. Take the example, rule of law. Take the example, rule of law. Parliamentary form of government. Or say, rule of law, secular, democratic, sovereign. India is sovereign. Okay. We all know you might be in maturity, Modi might be in maturity, but no, Modi cannot change the parliamentary form of government. India is a parliamentary form of government. In India, there is secularism. See? Right to worship your own religion. We have rule of law. Every person is equal before the law. No, this can never be changed. So this is the most important features of the Indian constitution, which cannot be even changed by the parliament. You might be in majority, you might be in minority, but no, this can never be changed. That's the reason that is known as the basic structure. So yes, what is this basic structure? Yes, last page. It was 1 point. What is this basic structure?
The core of what is India.
Yes, absolutely. The core of the Indian Constitution. The basic features of Indian Constitution. The fundamental, the most important part of Indian Constitution, which is never going to be changed. Like rule of law, republic, secularism, democratic rule of law, sovereignty. No, India is a sovereign country. It will never be changed. So this is too important. This is the most important feature. So let's see the 3 ways. The parliament can change the constitution in 3 ways. Let's see the 3 ways. Number 1. Number 1. By simple maturity. Okay, first is simple maturity. Yes, the parliament can change the constitution in 3 ways. But let's see the 3 ways. First is simple maturity in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Simple maturity. That means 1/3. Alright. The first way to change the constitution is simple maturity in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So let's see. Simple maturity means what? Lok Sabha consists of 250. Rajya Sabha consists of. Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members. Lok Sabha 550. So 1/3 will be how much? It is how much? It is approximately 80. Here 1/3 will be this 150. Okay. There should pass a resolution in each house. Simple maturity. Take example of creation of a state. If you want to create a state, suppose in Nagaland there is a demand going on. FND, Eastern Naga issue. They want a state. So who can do that? The Parliament of India. In this way, 1/3, easiest way. It is the easiest way. So tonight, who knows tonight? This evening, the Parliament can create a new state for Eastern Nagas. Alright. So in that conditions, a new state is going to be created. The easiest way, 1/3 maturity in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. You have to pass a resolution. That's all. In Lok Sabha, how much you require this? In Lok Sabha it is 150, and in Rajya Sabha it is 80. You have to pass a resolution. Simple maturity is required. So the best example will be creation of a state. Yes, last page. The first way to change the constitution is by simple maturity in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The best example is creation of an Indian state, or change the name of a state. Now it's Nagaland. Tomorrow you can change it to India. Okay, any other name you can change. Okay, it is possible. See, you see Jammu and Kashmir, it was a state, but now no more is not a state. It is a UT now. Possible in this simple maturity. Second is 2/3 maturity. It is the second toughest way to change the constitution. The parliament can change the constitution in the second way, two-thirds. But in which house? Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together, supported by two-thirds majority. So now if I say 250 now, how much you require? Two-thirds will be. The second way to change the constitution is one for toughest. So two-thirds will be how much Lok Sabha? Rajya Sabha 250. It is 160 to 70. Lok Sabha also you need this 350 to 60. Two-thirds. Yes. So that is the second hardest way. The best example I can give you is fundamental rights. It is very hard to change the fundamental rights of India. So the best example I can give you is the fundamental rights. To change the fundamental rights is very hard. So you can change it by two-thirds majority. See, we have 7 fundamental rights, but now we have just 6. Who has done that? It is the Parliament of India. It is the Parliament of India. Third, number 3. The third and the last toughest way to change the constitution is both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have to pass the resolution by two-thirds majority in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And half of the Indian state should agree. Half of the Indian states should also pass a resolution supported by simple majority. That means at least 14 Indian states should say yes to change the constitution. We have 28 states, so it does 14 should say yes. So it is the toughest way. Take the basic example of to change the Supreme Court and High Court. The powers and functions and jurisdiction of Supreme Court and High Court. It is very hard to change the Supreme Court and High Court powers and functions and jurisdiction. So this is the toughest way. The last toughest way to change the constitution is a two-thirds majority plus half of the Indian state. So far, the parliament can change the constitution, yes, without changing the basic structure under 3 circumstances. First is by 1/3 majority, second is by 2/3 majority, third is by 2/3 majority plus half of the Indian states. Any confusion? Which one is the toughest?
State government company.
Yes?
Example, they have to create a new district.
The process will be same, but that is by the state government. Okay, it is same. Okay. Now 13, now 16 district in Nagaland. Yes, possible. The state legislature, your real can create that. Okay, he is the boss. So unfortunately in Nagaland, no opposition. So anytime within 2 minutes, you can create another one of district. So this is a very good method. But in the parliament, the procedure is to be there. This is I think today you have learned a lot. See. And the parliament can change the constitution. This you'll find in Article 368. You have to remember. Okay. Article 368, please remember. Article 368 deals with the amendment of the Indian Constitution. Yes, the parliament can change the constitution. But in how many ways? 3 ways. In 3 ways. The parliament can change the constitution in 3 ways. So this is too important. This is too important. So now. Article 368, please remember, Article 368 deals with the changing of the Indian Constitution. Now, I discuss about now the equal powers, right? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now, I'm going to discuss about in what way the Rajya Sabha is more powerful than the Lok Sabha. Or in what way the Rajya Sabha is more powerful than the Lok Sabha. Now, I'm going to discuss about absolute power of the Rajya Sabha. Absolute power of the Rajya Sabha. power to make laws in the state is, we all know that Article 249. It is only Rajya Sabha, not the Lok Sabha. No, even though I said Lok Sabha is the most popular house, the directly elected house, no. Only the Rajya Sabha can make laws in the state list under Article 249. Anytime. Rajya Sabha can make laws in the state list anytime by passing a resolution supported by 2/3 majority in the Rajya Sabha. Anytime the Rajya Sabha can make laws in the state list supported by 2/3 majority. Anytime. That is absolute power, not the Lok Sabha. Second is creation of an all India services. You take the best example. IAS officer, IPS. Who is creating this job? It is the Rajya Sabha. Only the Rajya Sabha. Absolute power. Under Article 312 of the Indian Constitution. Please memorize it. Article 312 deals with creation of all India services. Who can do that? Only the Rajya Sabha, not the Lok Sabha. Unfortunately, not the most powerful house. It is the Rajya Sabha only who can create the all India services anytime. UPC exam, that means who creates the UPC post? It is only the Rajya Sabha. Absolute power. Now, yes, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will remove the Vice President of India. But remember, the impeachment proceedings of the Vice President can be introduced only in the Rajya Sabha first. Please write down. The Vice President of India, if you want to remove the Vice President, that impeachment proceeding has to be introduced only in the Rajya Sabha first. After that, you have to pass the resolution by 2/3 majority. After that, you will go to the second house. That is the Lok Sabha. So, impeachment proceeding of the Vice President only in the Rajya Sabha first. So, 3 articles you have to memorize today. 249, 312, and 67. Impeachment proceedings of the Vice President can be introduced only first in the which house? Yeah, Rajya Sabha. That's all. Now let's see absolute power of the Lok Sabha. Now let's see the most important power of the Lok Sabha. Let's see in what conditions the Lok Sabha is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha. Number 1, introducing of money bill. The first important thing is money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha, by the Finance Minister every year. Every year, who introduced the money bill? It is only the Finance Minister of India. The Finance Minister of India every year will introduce the money bill only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. After that, it will go to the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can delay the money bill for only 14 days. This is often asked in MPSC. The Rajya Sabha can delay the money bill which is introduced by the Lok Sabha only for 14 days. Now there is a question in MPSC. If within 14 days the bill is not returned, what will happen? Yes, what will happen? What will happen if the money bill which is in the Rajya Sabha is not returned within 14 days to the Lok Sabha? The Lok Sabha will be considered as pass. That shows that Rajya Sabha is a 0 with regard to money bill. Can the Rajya Sabha make some changes in the money bill? Some recommendation? Absolutely. The Rajya Sabha can make some recommendations, some changes in the money bill, but it is up to the Lok Sabha whether they will agree or not. It's up to them. And even though if it is not returned, it will be considered as passed by the Lok Sabha. That shows that in terms of money bill, Lok Sabha has absolute power. The Rajya Sabha, in short, can delay the money bill only for 10 days. That's all. That's all. Okay. You came across the budget. Budget can be discussed both in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but it is only the Lok Sabha which will vote the demand of grants. It's very important. Voting will take place only in which house? Only in the Lok Sabha. Unfortunately, Rajya Sabha is never going to vote on demand of grants of the budget. That means budget is first introduced only in the Lok Sabha, it will go to Rajya Sabha, but the voting is going to take place only in the Lok Sabha. That shows that the Lok Sabha has absolute power to pass the Indian budget. Demand of grants. Say, what is this demand of grants? What is this demand of grants? Demand of grants means every department in India is going to demand so much. Give me 50 crore, give me 60 crore for agriculture department, for forest department, for education department. But no, until unless the Lok Sabha is going to vote, the ministry is never going to get any money. So you have so many demand. Demand of grants means you demand so many things before the parliament. But until unless the Lok Sabha is going to vote, you cannot get anything. So again, it is only the Lok Sabha which has absolute power to vote on the demand of grants. So that means voting the budget will be done in which house? Only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. So even in the voting side, it is only the Lok Sabha which will vote in the budget. So in the budget also, it is the Lok Sabha which is absolute power. And last is we have Finance Bill 1 and 2. Okay, this I'm going to discuss in another topic, but remember, finance means something built with money again. Okay, so budget, money bill, finance, all are concerned with money. Remember, finance bill can be reduced. Finance bill 1, okay, we have two types of finance bill. Finance bill 1 and 2. So remember, finance bill 1 can be reduced only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. That you have to remember. Or else both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal power to pass the finance bill 1 and 2. But just one exception. I'm repeating once more. Finance bill 1 can be only introduced only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. Or else both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to pass the finance bill. Now I'm going to discuss about the emergency. National emergency, state emergency, and finance emergency. Who can launch it? Who can declare it? Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But to stop the national emergency, it is only the power of the Lok Sabha. Please write down, okay? It's an exceptional power. It's an exceptional power. Only the Lok Sabha can stop the national emergency in India, not the Rajya Sabha. Who can declare it? Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to declare. However, to stop the national emergency, only the Lok Sabha can stop the national emergency. Please remember, okay? This is so important. This kind of a question is going to rise in NPC. If NPC is going for a tough question, you can expect this. Only the Lok Sabha can stop the national emergency. But who can declare? Equal powers. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So these are some of the absolute power: the money bill, the finance bill, the budget, the emergency. Yes. So and no confidence motion. Now remember, which house can introduce the no confidence motion? Next point. Who is more power, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? motion. So it is only the Lok Sabha who is more powerful in removing even the Prime Minister of India. It is only the Lok Sabha which can remove the Prime Minister, all the Council of Ministers. That is the reason Lok Sabha is more powerful. Why? Because of the no confidence motion. Now I'm not going to repeat this, but why? Why the ministers, including the Prime Minister, is collectively responsible only to the Lok Sabha? Because of what reason? Because the Lok Sabha can introduce no confidence motion anytime. And if this was what will happen? Sometime the no confidence motion is passed in the Lok Sabha. In that condition, that particular Prime Minister has to resign. No other option. Or else he's going to be dismissed by the President of India. And the opposition leader, take the example, Rahul Gandhi at this stage will become the Prime Minister of India, even tonight. Okay, so no confidence motion. The most powerful weapon of the Lok Sabha. And that is why the Lok Sabha absolutely controls the Prime Minister, including his cabinet ministers. That is why the Lok Sabha is the most powerful house in India. It is the Lok Sabha which controls the entire Council of Ministers. Lok Sabha will pass the money bill, the budget, the finance bill. See, too powerful. That is why everybody wants to be a member of the Lok Sabha. Now, there are some conditions where the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are co-equal. Co-equal. That means equal powers. Okay, so please write down. Number one. In what conditions the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers? Number one. Approval of ordinance. Approval of ordinance. Ordinance is too important. Often asked in BC. What is this ordinance? Ordinance means the most powerful legislative power of the parliament. Ordinance means to make laws. Okay. Ordinance means to make laws. This is too important. Ordinance means to make laws. So see, sometimes the Lok Sabha is not in season. So the president can make laws. Okay, that is known as ordinance. Remember, sometimes both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are not in season. For emergency purpose, who will make the laws? It is the President of India, which is known as ordinance. So ordinance means the most important legislative powers of the parliament. It is not executive. Ordinance means legislative powers to make laws. So in these conditions, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to approve the ordinance issued by the President of India within 6 weeks. This is often asked in BSc. We all know the President will use the ordinance power to make laws, but that laws has to be approved by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together within 6 months. Or else that law will become invalid, useless. So every ordinance issued by the President will have to be approved by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha within 6 weeks. That means approximately 1 month and a half. Too important. 6 weeks, memorize it. 6 weeks. Equal powers for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Second point. Removal of the constitutional laws. Removal of the constitutional laws. Who can remove all the constitutional laws? It is both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together. Removal of all the constitutional laws. Next point. Selections of Prime Minister and the entire Council of Ministers. Selections of the Prime Minister and the entire Council of Ministers. Now my last question will be, who select the Prime Minister in the Council of Ministers? In which house? Absolutely. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to elect the Prime Minister and the Minister. Because I've been telling you, a minister can be from either house, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay, one more point. What will happen if Modi dies tonight? If, unfortunately, Narendra Modi met by an accident, he passed away, what will happen? Huh? What will happen to the other ministers? In this condition, all the ministers have to resign once, not from their membership of the parliament, but from their ministership. A new team is going to be formed. The president will give time. Okay, you form another party, another ministry. A new team is going to be formed. No confusion? The president will give time. With this time now, so all the cabinet ministers have to resign once from their ministership, not from their member of the parliament. After that, a new team is going to be formed. Okay, if a person is going to be a command majority, okay, he will be elected as the leader, and he will be appointed as the prime minister. So please remember, sometimes the prime minister will die. Who knows? Just like Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi passed away before 5 years. So in that conditions, okay, among one of the member, you elect him as the prime minister and prove him majority. So this is too important. It is possible. So there was a question in PSC. If the prime minister dies, every minister will resign from their member of the parliament. No, that is wrong. Only from their ministership, just for time being, temporary. A new team is going to be formed. Next will be the enlargement of the jurisdictions of the constitutional laws. Like UPC, no. Like UPC or like Finance Commission, no. Enlargement of the jurisdiction. Sometimes you can give more powers to the UPSC and to the Finance Commissions in the constitutional boards. Who can do that? It is only the both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together. Equal power. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to enlarge the jurisdictions of UPSC or Finance Commission, etc. Okay. Last one more point. All this report, see, we have so many. Please remember, we have so many. We have so many constitutional bosses, commissions, you know, UPSC, yes or no, Finance Commission, Supreme Court, you know, all this report is going to be debated in the Parliament. So who will see all this record? Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have equal powers to consider the report of the UPSC Finance Commission. No, any commissions of the constitutional boss is going to be examined by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together in the Parliament. So these are the equal powers. These are the equal powers. We will stop here for today. Alright. See, yes, any confusion so far? You can ask anytime. See, polity is very conceptual and very dynamic. But if you listen, there is nothing which no one can see. You can learn. Okay, you can learn. When I say parliament, if you know the parliament, if tomorrow I'm going to start with state legislature, it is easy. Almost 90% the same. The thing is that one exists in the center, one exists in every Indian state. So any confusion? Any question, you know? The powers and functions, the jurisdictions, elections, the qualification, disqualifications, anything?
Yes, a conflict between the center and state.
Yes.
So, yes,
More power.
deciding
In what conditions? In what field? There are many conditions, right? Where the center and the state can have tensions.
we go to the
Yes?
go to the judiciary. Can the judiciary interpret such cases?
If a law is made by parliament, alright, but if that is against the constitution, and for that particular state, in that conditions, the judiciary can interfere. Okay, we all know that law is unconstitutional. That is why even that particular state is against. So in that conditions, the center is going to interfere. And not the center, the judiciary can come in. Okay, because judiciary will protect. That's the reason. Even though I said the parliament is more powerful, the parliament has to function within the limits of the constitution. If they go against the constitution, no, that law will never be declared in India. That law will never be enforced in India. That is why we have a check and balance. Checks and balance. That is why judiciary is also powerful, parliament is also powerful. In that way. We will stop here for the day. Thanks a lot.